All right, Coach, were there any standout players from today's practice?
A lot. I thought, from today, I thought defense was really good early in our team segments, and it was really good to see. We did some run periods and thought we did a fantastic job without me studying film, just being able to get in their run fits and stop kind of what we had schematically going. And so kind of started the day off with good energy over there, and then we actually went live for the first time today and did about 20 plays of tackling. And so I thought the offense rebounded right there. And so it's been fun kind of when you see these guys, we bring it all together and you're actually tackling out there. I thought a couple of the freshman wideouts looked really good today. Barron Tipton made a great play over the middle, went up and caught a ball with people around him. Wyatt Young is a guy that continues just every single day. He does something good that we notice, and he's going to find a role for himself on this team. I think Davo on the Sparrows on the defensive side of the ball, is playing the star position for us right now, continues to show up and make plays for us. I made a big interception today to kind of set the tone on defense. And so those are, without me studying it right now, those are some guys that have stepped up that we haven't seen, a ton of so far that continue to make plays for us.
Jordan Brown's one of your veteran guys that's coming in to his senior year. How has he looked, and how do you think he'll fit in this defense in his second year in it?
Yeah, I think he knows the defense. Jordan's someone that had some setbacks kind of in the offseason this year. So we're kind of slowly progressing him up to a full load right now. And so he's done a phenomenal job as far as being able to be a coach on the field. I think he knows the language that we speak. He knows the verbiage. And so with some of these young guys, he's done a phenomenal job coming in there, being a leader when he's not getting the actual reps on the field. He's done a bunch of indie, bunch of walkthrough stuff, just kind of waiting to put the heavy load on him. Starting to work himself back into it right now. But he's a guy that you don't worry about knowing the defense, knowing the fits. He's seen it. He's done it. And so first and foremost, we got to get him where he feels like he's 100%. And he's getting close to it right now.
Coach, you opened up AAC Media Days with a tribute to Abner Haynes. Why do you think it's important guys know about him?
Yeah, I think just a trailblazer and too, just the history of this place. I think with what he did, for breaking the race barrier in Texas college football is astronomical. And for our kids to know that someone that went here kind of paved the way for them right now and was able to, kind of throw that out the window and give them opportunities. Now, did he have to sacrifice a ton? Absolutely. I've heard some stories, and so what a tough guy that was able to come in, and we got the tributes right when we walk in, and so it's something that I think you always need to know the history of the place you're playing at. And not only was it a great, advocacy for all the movements that happened at that time, but I think too he's just a great football player. What he was able to do in the first year of the AFL, the only player ever to be a rookie of the year and the player of the year in the Hall of Fame for the Kansas City Chiefs. So yeah, not only I think he had such an impact on this place on and off the field that his legacy will live on forever.
Did you talk about it with the players after his passing?
Yeah, we had some time. We've talked about him in the past, just what it meant to this university, and then on a bigger scope, what it meant to college football overall. And when you think about it and look at the numbers, we were almost 10 years ahead of anybody in the Southwest Conference of breaking the racial barrier. And so just a huge, I think, tribute to this place being ahead of its times.
Are there any key position battles that you've had your eyes on going into this week?
Yeah, I think the offensive line, is something that we continue to throw different pieces out there. Landon Peterson is a guy that gives us great versatility, and so we started him off at guard and then bumped him out to tackle the last couple of days. And I think just his length and size and the amount of football that he's played already gives us the ability to do that. We've got to figure out what our best five are in there right now. I think, Jett Duncan's a leader at center. He knows the calls. He gets us lined up. He gets us pointed the right direction. I think Mekhi Lee continues to get better and better at left tackle. You look at Leke and Paula at the guard position, battling every single day. And so, yeah, I think that's something we got to shore up. I think it'll take this first scrimmage maybe into the second scrimmage. But that's a position I want to get those five out there playing together quicker than later.
You've been able to go through about a week of fall camp so far. What position or group do you think has improved since the spring?
Yeah, I've talked about a lot. I think the safety position is something that jumps out right now. a position that I think's doing a great job. I mean, they have to have a skill set where not only are they defending the pass, but they're primary run fits a lot of times for. So it takes a unique skill set back there to be able to play some of these safety positions that we have. And I think you look at some of the experience. I mean, Evan Jackson, year 2, you can really tell. Javen Anderson, year 2, you can really tell. You bring in a guy, and Jaden Hill, who's been phenomenal for us. I mean, that's a guy right there that comes to work every day, does things the right way, has all the attributes to play at the next level. I mean, he's over 6 foot tall, over 200 pounds, and the fastest guy on our team right now. So really excited about what that group can do kind of as a collective unit.
With 73 new players on this roster, you said in the summer that you split them up into teams that were doing like putt-putt challenges, like home run derby type stuff. Were you able to watch that, or did you just hear stories about it?
Oh, yeah, I was there for all of them. There's a couple in July that I missed. Dunk contest was phenomenal to watch the guys get out there and compete. Putt-putt was obviously hilarious. I mean, you go kickball, dodgeball, all the different, games that we did, pump, pass, and kick. And so, I think just finding unique ways to get these guys to bond and come together, just because there is so many new faces around here. And we're even doing things every night here as a team where we can learn more about one another. And I think that's something when you have so much turnover, you kind of have to expedite some of those processes that you have. And Coach Keggins did a phenomenal job during the course of the summer. With that many new faces, I would argue right now that's one of the closest football teams I've ever been a part of. And so, which is a tribute to these guys and spending time together this summer and spending time during camp together. And I think, I told them the other day, I mean, the dog days of camp is something that you dread the most as a player, but then, when you're done as a former player, it's one of those things you really miss just because you get to spend. It's so hard going through this together. And I think those are the experiences that you really remember is in the locker room when you're going through tough things together.
You mentioned Jett. How's that move gone with him moving inside the center this year?
Yeah, really good. And I think we talked after the season, and Jett knows that, his opportunity to play at the next level is not on the perimeter or on the edge. He just doesn't have the size or length to do it at the next level. And so sliding him into center, he's always been such a great football IQ guy. He's a guy that understands the game. He understands leverage. And so being able to, move him in there, I think has really maximized that skill set he has, because not only can he just worry about himself on the edge, but he can actually point people in the right directions, knows how to study film, has seen all these blitzes. And so I think that the sky's the limit as far as getting everybody on the same page up front for Jett.
Your season opener is at 4 o'clock this year against South Alabama. In the Texas heat, how have you been able to kind of prepare your team for that type of environment that you're going to be playing in?
Yeah, I think, and there's not a perfect science to it. And I think just judging and being able to get out there and slowly acclimate them to that weather. And so we started that last week. We've gone outside most of the days, although they've been in the mornings. And I think the one biggest difference once we get there will be the humidity, right? And so we'll have to do a great job of being able to get the guys prepared and making sure that we're hydrated during the course of that week. I think our nutrition program does a phenomenal job. Miss Kayla has really been able to refuel these guys. We've really beefed up what we're giving them and all the replacement shakes right after practice, all the water intake that they're doing. We're feeding them 3 meals a day. They get a snack on top of that after they lift. And so I think just when the guys are committed to the nutrition aspect of it is you can get through some of those things. But yeah, we'll continue the next 3 weeks finding times to get out there on the turf where we know it's going to be, sometimes that turf's 130, 140 degrees out there, and they have to be able to feel that.
Is the operation of fall camp better now that there's no limits to on-field coaches?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I think this gives our young coaches an opportunity to go out there and show what they can do. And then, too, when you have groups, especially offensive line, great example, safety, great example right now, where we have, 15 guys per position right there, to be able to split them up and get more work during the individual drills, I think has been huge for us. And then also, we'll be able to do some two-spot stuff where, half the team's doing team inside, the other half's outside, and you actually feel like you got great coaches everywhere. And so, it's something I've always believed in is being able to to really develop your young coaches and then give them an opportunity once those jobs come open, and we'll take full advantage of it, and I think, here we're looking into right now being able to change, some of their titles right now, just to continue to help build their opportunities, so they're not just a quality control on paper. It might be a assistant wide receivers, assistant safeties, so on and so forth. So yeah, I think it's just great opportunities for young coaches.
Will Jordan have the communication system this year? And how do you think it'll do with it?
Yeah, our plan is right now is linebackers, middle linebacker usually on the defensive side of the ball, and then obviously quarterback on the offensive side of the ball. I just think, the more we get into it, I just think there's such an advantage in college football for the offensive side on this. And just because, in the NFL, I think that these guys huddle all the time, and really you can communicate a whole entire play, offense and defense, and it's kind of equal. And there's still going to be so much nonverbal because there's so much no huddle in the college game, and so I think it'll allow the offense to expedite kind of some of the way that they manage this, and then the defense, they're going to be able to hear, and you're going to be able to talk to them. I think it'll be a plus, but at the same point, I don't think they're going to have the time to come in and huddle and get a play and then get back to where they need to do against a tempo team. So I think we're kind of working through everything, and then dead ball kicks is the whole system's dead, and then punt return. You still have a live guy that has a green dot on the film, so it'll take a little bit of us knowing who has the green dot and making sure we don't make a mistake and get a penalty and have too many on the field during those two segments. And I think naturally, maybe fake punts will go up a little bit this year just because you're able to talk to an up back, you get the right look, as opposed to having, a guy back there you trust, you just check it and you tell him in the earpiece yes or no. And so we'll see. It's kind of something that we'll learn on the fly, that and the tablets. I think tablets on the sideline, being able to replay the video after every series is something that, you want to be able to give your players good information, but I think there's going to be a fine line. Sometimes there's too much information that you're feeding a kid on the sideline, and it doesn't allow them to go out there, cut it loose, and play fast.
This past week, what have you kind of seen from guys like McCollum and Tisdale for that quarterback 2 position?
Yeah, I think Cass continues to improve. The biggest thing with Cass right now is his highs are really high and his lows are really low. Like, he's got to do a better job of protecting the football. And so, and those are natural things. I think the defense has thrown quite a bit at us early right here, which I like, and we got to clean up him protecting the football and knowing where to get rid of it during some pressure situations. I think someone too, and Grant we give him more and more reps, and he has a skill set obviously about him, continues to learn. But Drew Mestamaker is a kid that came in here as a walk-on and continues to earn more and more reps every single day. So Drew's kind of splitting with the twos right now. A guy that has a really live arm, has come in and pick it up really fast. And so really excited about, being able to have him and develop him, Coach Brophy, the next couple of years.
Besides Tejada and Thompson, that corner room is kind of young. Who has kind of impressed you up to this point?
Yeah, I think Brian Nelson for sure. Brian Nelson's a guy that's super competitive, love his body type, size, speed, competitive nature. Made a couple incredible plays in one-on-ones today, and so really look for Brian to be good for us. And then, between all the other guys, I think, you got Taylor Starling, Kerry Williams is a freshman that's come in and shown up on tape a couple times. Gabe Stroud's a freshman that can really run and showed some makeup speed. So with those young guys, like, these scrimmages are just so vital to we can see and they can prove to us that we can trust them out there when the live bullets are coming at them and they know their assignment and their technique. And so that's the hardest thing for a freshman, I think, is putting it all together once we get in these live situations. And so hopefully, this Saturday will be our first scrimmage, and we're planning on getting a bolt to some of those young corners. That way we can kind of figure out how they react when their coach isn't out there with them.
And it looks like you guys are going to be going through some additional training this fall with the hazing deal from several years back. Do you think that's going to be good for your team and your players, just be able to get some extra instruction with that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think reminders at any time about situations, about the way you handle your business day in, day out in life is something, that we take great pride in the way our kids act outside of this place. And I take great pride in kind of what we've been able to establish the last couple of years. And so, that was something that I wasn't a part of when I wasn't here during that time. I was made aware of it, but was out of, all the details of it. So I don't know enough details to have a valid comment on it. But we take great pride each and every day in making sure that we treat one another with respect and we treat everyone outside this building with respect.
And so I'm trying to make the most of it. You know, I know my teammates putting out on the line, you know, for all these seniors, you know, for the last time. So it's been going really good.
When you're making a pretty dramatic change, we talked a little bit about it in the spring, you know, moving inside the center. How's that progressing as you go?
Yeah, you know, I'm excited because I think that's my natural position. You know, last year and 2 years ago, I was at tackle. You know, I'm not the biggest tackle there is, so moving inside, I think that's the best fit for me. Doing it during the spring, I think helped me a lot. You know, I was struggling at first, but now I'm pretty comfortable in the position at center right now.
And Coach Morris had said at the AAC Media Days about Abner Hayden's passing, the guy who broke the color barrier in North Texas. Have you learned anything else about him this fall after his passing?
Oh, yeah, I know. We pass by his statue every day. You know, I did some reading on him and everything, and I think it's just really cool what he did and everything. So,
How's the line coming together?
it's coming together really good. You know, we all built some chemistry together. You know, we've been hanging out outside. We got some new guys that came in that stepped up and everything. You know, they're big, they're aggressive and everything. So we've been a really good line so far.
Yeah, because you see like you guys haven't gotten a little bit bigger on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Do you feel like you guys have improved there just in terms of your physicality?
I think so. Yes, sir. Yeah. You know, I've got some big dudes now, so they're gonna bring it this year.
When y'all split up into teams this summer and did like dunk contests and putt-putt challenges, who had the most impressive athletic feat?
Oh man. I'm gonna say on my team, you know, Chavez, he dunked it. You know, you probably saw it on Instagram and everything. It was the most impressive dunk I've ever seen. You know, he got up there, so that was probably the most impressive thing.
How would you say the energy at this year's camp kind of compares to years past?
The energy so far, you know, we've only been in camp 6 days, I think, but it's just through the roof, you know. People, offense making plays, whole sidelines just coming out, you know, high-fiving, dapping up everyone. Same with defense, you know. They made a good play today, you know, and defense just got up, got crazy and everything. So, you know, it's a battle every single day. So whoever has the most energy. So,
Have there been any standout players in the offensive line room so far for you?
you know, I think everyone has been doing really good. Johnny Dixon, I feel like, has been doing really good. You know, he's working his way up and everything. Landon, you know, he's been great. Same with Mackay and everyone else. So, yeah.
You've had a plethora of transfers around the whole offense in general. How do you feel like those guys have adjusted so far throughout fall camp?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of new guys. You know, they're learning every single day. You know, how we run this offense and everything. They're improving, but you can see that on the field. You know, they're making some plays out there.
It seems like you're one of the older guys in the offensive line room, one of the most experienced guys. Is the leadership role something that you take seriously with that group?
I do, yeah. You know, when I first came here, I was kind of quiet and everything. You know, I had to like mature into that role and everything. And now that I'm one of the most like not experienced, but like the most like I'm a senior and everything. So, you know, I've been stepping up my leadership. You know, making sure all the young guys, even the older guys, you know, are in line and everything. You know, taking what needs to be done in that room.
Who were some of those guys that helped you break out of that shell when you were quiet at the start and now you're being more of a leader?
Oh yeah, definitely Rod Brown. You know, he's always had some energy. You know, and he kept trying to like make me talk and everything when I was younger and everything. You know, he really broke me out. Same with D Ward. So
Chandler's, you know, coming in as your guys' starting quarterback this year. What's he been like? Has he kind of shown you guys a little bit of leadership ability here with what he's done?
Definitely. Yeah, you know, he's just a natural born leader, I think. As soon as he got here, you know, he ran the whole offense basically. Like he's a quick learner, already knows all the plays and stuff, you know, during practice when the ones are up and everything, you know, he's hey, let's go and everything. So, you know, he's just a natural born leader.
Another guy that's coming towards the end of his career there is Jordan Brown, who you go against practice here some. Is he kind of developed into one of those top players for your guys' defense, and you think he'll really continue to improve this fall?
I think so, yeah. Jordan Brown, he's a really smart player, really, really physical too. So, you know, he's really good, and I think he's going to have a better year this year.
What makes you think he'll be better this year?
You know, I think he's just like learning all the plays. You know, I think they got some new blitzes, you know, new stuff going in. And again, leadership is a big role in that too. So I think JB is a big leader too.
What's he like as a guy?
He's a really cool dude. My family moved up to Huntsville. That's where Jordan's from. So yeah. So, you know, it's just cool that we share that in common and everything. But he's a really good dude outside of football. When he hits the field, he's just a different person, just aggressive and everything.
Y'all were practicing on Saturday at DAC 2. How well conditioned do you guys feel like you are getting to the heat at this point?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last year during fall camp, I wasn't conditioned. I was cramping up and everything. This year, made sure to take my hydration serious. I've told the offensive line room, make sure you take that serious and everything. We didn't have that many cramps and everything. We played good, but yeah, I think we accustomed to the heat pretty good.
How beneficial were those like summer OTA type practices for y'all with so many newcomers coming in?
Yeah, those were definitely much needed. Just learning because we ran plays and everything out there. So just like to have that team chemistry, to know what to do at all sides of the ball. It was definitely beneficial.
All right, Jordan, so how's it going so far fall practice?
I mean, it's going pretty well. Guys getting after it on the defensive side and everything. Everything's coming along together. Seeing a lot of young guys make some plays and everything. And even with the transfers, we're all playing as a unit. So it's going well.
Is the defense coming together? I know that was a big point of focus in the offseason after last year.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is. Especially it's kind of amazing to see how fast these guys learn, like come together and everything. And as well as we're playing as a unit, we all have each other's back and everything. We bring each other up and we're down and everything. So it's going pretty well.
You've had a full year in the 3-3-5 now. How do you feel like you're able to adjust compared to this time last year?
I feel like it's very easy to adjust. Like now it's like second nature almost. Pretty much, going to a 3-3-5 is a little bit different. I kind of ran it my freshman year. But like running it now, knowing the defense, being able to like know where guys supposed to be, knowing the entire defense, it really helps.
Abner Haynes, the guy who broke the color barrier in North Texas, passed away this summer. Have you learned anything else about him since his passing?
Yes, I mean, it's pretty amazing. He was a trailblazer for guys like me, being the first of one of us. And, it's really an honor to be able to be here. Guys like him had the first foot forward and everything to open up a door for us.
How have you grown as a player since the end of last season?
I've grown a lot, being more of a vocal leader and everything, leading the guys, getting them prepared for everything, as well as bringing the young guys along as well. Like last year, I was more so of a leader who does things right, and you seen that by what I did. But now I lead by doing things right and also bring you along by speaking and everything else.
Yeah, Coach was saying you had a bit of a rough off season. You had to really kind of recover to get ready for the beginning of your senior season. What happened?
Just had a little stuff going on and even everything, but it's coming along well. Been getting back active and everything, so it's been really well. Working with the training staff as well as the weight room staff, and it's been going well.
You still feel like you'd be ready for the
yes,
season?
100%.
Y'all's first game is at 4 o'clock this year at South Alabama. How do you feel like y'all have adjusted to that kind of heat, in the Texas heat, of course, for that game?
Well, I mean, as you know, we're in Texas, and July in Texas, it isn't just like a slouch heat or anything. So I feel like we're going to do well and everything. Practice in the evening and everything where the heat is on us, and doing periods like that. So I feel like that's getting us well adjusted for the heat.
Do you feel like y'all have the depth this year to be able to sustain possible injuries or stuff like that you've seen with the transfers coming in?
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like we have a depth. We have a lot of guys that can step up and play, and there's not a drop off as much at all. So I feel like we're ready for that.
How does the energy at this year's camp kind of compare to your past years here?
What would you say?
How does the energy at this year's camp so far kind of compare to your past years here?
I feel like the energy here is definitely up there. It definitely is like number one because guys coming in every day, just go out there and work and everything. No matter what, like you're tired, whatever, put that mask on, get out there and work. So it's going well.
Well, this is your senior year. This is your last shot. Is that something that really drives you?
Yes, 100%. But I'm not so much focused on it being my last year. I'm focused on leading the team, like having everybody come together because I know. As well as everybody else knows, team success brings individual success. So that's all I'm worried about. It's the team.
You've heard about in the summer how y'all split into teams, did putt, dunk challenges, stuff like that. What was kind of your favorite moment from that summer?
I don't know. It's between the soccer goal challenge and volleyball. I mean, not volleyball, but dodgeball. My team did very well. Shout out Dirty Mo and the boys. Took first place and they did well.
Who's the best dodgeball player?
Dalton Carnage.
You may have the communication system this year. Is that something you're adjusting to in fall camp?
Yes, I mean, we kind of tried it out last spring and everything. It worked well. It's nothing too crazy or anything. So, yeah.
Another one of the veterans on this team that's going in his last year is Ridge Tejada. Is he really kind of, step forward for you guys throughout his career?
100%. Ridge just came a long way and everything. It's been beautiful to see him like come so far as he came and everything, become a leader, and then just stride for stride, getting better each and every day. I mean, it's amazing to see.
Is he one of those guys that kind of squeezed every bit of juice out of it, or at least so far, got the most out of his potential and talent?
I wouldn't say he squeezed it all the way. I feel like he still has a lot of years to go. I feel like he can never stop getting better and everything. But, I mean, he's doing really well right now. He's doing great. And so I believe he's going to keep going, stride for stride, keep going up.
How did your role change as like a guy returning from this defense last year, and you like 73 new players on this team? Like, how did that change through this offseason?
It's more so of you have to get out and get to know everybody. You can't just like sit back and like, oh, that's my teammate or whatever. You have to get around and get to know everybody, bring everybody else together. I mean, that's a huge challenge, but I feel like in football it happens a lot, and I feel like, we all have a common goal is to win, so it's pretty easy.
What's Ridge like as a guy that you've been able to play with him for all these years?
Ridge is like, he's a great guy. I mean, he's a team player, he's a teammate, he's there when you need him and everything. He's a funny guy, he can make a couple of jokes and everything. He gets you up when you're down, so I mean, it's been good playing alongside of him.
Have there been any standout players in the linebacker room that have kind of stood out to you so far?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much all of them. Where do I start? You got Shane, Chavez, Jalen Smith, Ethan Waslowski, and then even the young guys, KB, Hudson, they're all making plays and everything. There's a lot of young guys that's coming up and playing.
And about like the transfers that came in, like JJ and Shane, how are they looking specifically?
Oh, they're looking well, and I feel like they came in and got right into it. JJ kind of ran a similar defense back when he was at Iowa State, so he kind of fit the system well. And he's still a young guy. He's making strides, but he's a great player. He has good instincts and everything, so he's coming along, as well as Shane. Shane's a fast player, stays low, he gets to the ball, so, yeah.
You have pieces that better fit the system this year than maybe last year?
I would say the pieces last year, they all fit well. The same with this year. I feel like it's more so of the bond we have together, in a way. Taking coaching from one another and not taking it to heart. They're just getting better.
Is that what's going to make the difference this year?
100%, because a lot of times, football's an emotional game, and some guys just can't take it, like, coming along from a teammate or whatever. But, here now it's just we're all taking it all as one, we got to come together to win.
How big were those summer OTA type practices for y'all? Was that a new thing this summer for y'all? Like the practices you had in the summer where you could run plays and stuff like that, I think that was kind of a new thing in college football.
Yeah, that's pretty much a new thing. I feel like that worked well for us because, it got everybody out there together, learn each other's faces and everything, as well as, like, learn from each other, because everyone's new. Some of the new guys don't really know the defense as well, so you got to teach it and everything. So that was really good for us.
What's Chandler look like in practice?
He's looking well, making good reads, looking off the linebackers and everything. He's fast, he's elusive, he knows what he's doing, he understands the coverage and everything, so he's looking well.